Now, throughout COVID-19, we have seen that having a strong organizational safety and health system, which includes meaningful participation of government, employers, workers, public health actors, and all relevant parties at the national and enterprise level, has been very crucial in protecting working environment and safeguarding the safety and health of workers. Through effective social dialogue, government and social partners actively participate in all phases of OSH decision-making processes. Now, this is important for the development and revision of this particular policy and regulatory frameworks to address persistent and new OSH challenges to actual application of workplace level. Social dialogue not only contributes to improving these policies, but it also helps with essential build-up of ownership and commitment, easing the way for the rapid, more effective implementation. Well, what exactly do I mean? Today, we mark World Day for Safety and Health at Work. And for that, we explore the topic of participation and social dialogue in creating a positive safety and health culture, especially at our workplaces. Joining us to discuss via Zoom, Emmeline Date, a human resource expert. She joined via phone, actually. And of course, from Aberdeen in Scotland, we shall be joined via Zoom by health and safety expert Edward Deborah. I want to start off with you, Edward. What describes a good and bad health and safety culture of an organization, of a work environment?
Hi, so good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for having me. When we talk about good health and safety practice, what it actually means is that it's an occasion where employees can actually go to work and come back in one piece, not go to work and come back in pieces. Then again, you also realize that it endures to the benefit of organizations that practice this. Employees will be motivated, accidents will be reduced, people will be happy at their workplaces, there will not be any injuries and the like at the workplaces. Those ones are key ingredients that account for proper health and safety practice in an organization.
And of course, I believe we're joined by Emmeline Date, an HR expert. Emmeline, how do you assess health and safety, regulations at our offices today? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better, especially when we have shifted away from COVID? Emmeline, if you could hear me, as an HR expert, I want to find your thoughts on the assessment of health and safety at our offices today. I'm afraid we're having issues connecting with Emmeline. But of course, Edward, you have the strong belief that government has a role to play in promoting good health and safety culture in the country. How exactly?
Right, so government, as we all know, is the largest employer in the country. And as it stands, employers are supposed to sort of create a safe place of work, safe people, and the safe processes to sort of support the effort at ensuring proper health and safety is the workplace. So government having such responsibility, they also have to put in procedures and processes that would sort of support the agenda to ensure this is done. They could do that by policy direction. There is an OSH bill that I know is sitting in Parliament right now. They can do that by setting that, get it signed off, get it passed into law. Then we have legal basis for prioritizing this. In regulations, compliance, and stuff like that, government are championing all that. So that said, if they are able to comply to the latter and ensure that players within the industry are also following the dictates of the licenses that they get, we surely will be able to arrive at creating that better workplace for everybody. The goal is everybody wants to leave their homes, get to work, and get back home safely. Nobody wants to get to work and get injured, but that is the case. A lot of people are dying by the day because of some of these, I would say, negligence. So if government decides to walk the talk, then we know that we are going to have the tone set for the dialogue to commence and things will change.
Indeed, but of course, as we mark World, health and safety at the workplace, we're not just focused on the safety, but we're also very much cautious about the health. The health being mental health specifically comes with matters regarding workplace politics, issues regarding with salary management, human resource management. And Emmeline, if you could hear me once again, you're an HR expert. You deal with organizations along these these lines. How do you measure our performance in Ghana as compared to elsewhere around the world? Edward, if you could take that question up, of course. You have been dealing with organizations not just in Ghana but around the world, and when we're talking about the health of workers at the workplace, when it comes to politics, either in the work environment, which is very much, of course, natural, matters regarding salaries and even human resource, talent acquisition and management, how do you place our assessment, our performance here in Ghana?
Hello? We have made some gains, but there's still a lot more to be done because some of the companies are well structured that they've got open door policy where people can actually have grievances shared and also resolved. Other places, it's not like that. So we've made some gains, and I believe that there's still a lot more work to be done. HR practice in health and safety actually work in tandem because there can't be a successful health and safety in any organization if HR support is not there. At the point of recruitment, HR is supposed to spell out clearly what is expected of each employee that comes in. And health and safety should be part of the job description. That said, if that is done, clearly it helps. I must say we've made some gains. At least I know some companies in the country that are doing the right things, sending the right signals, and improving the culture of health and safety. Others still have a lot of learning to do. But like I said, if we get a bigger player, the government, to come in as the law, then it will make a lot of sense and it would ease the pressure that people have to go through in trying to bypass all these things towards ensuring proper health and safety at the workplace. So on the well-being bit, there are companies that allow sort of a lot of engagement for staff. They've created scenarios, they've created scenes so people can have some work-life balance. Said it helps people to sort of voice their grievances, have an avenue to get up those complaints addressed, and that puts them in a good place that supports productivity. But in a culture where things are bad, obviously you won't get good productivity. And what that means is that there will be a lot of dark times and bottom line will be affected.
Edward, let's bring in Emmeline. She's an HR expert. Emmeline, if you can hear me once again, I want to find out from you, our health experts, HR professionals actually, are they prioritizing salaries over health and safety of their workers from your perspective?
Sorry, if I got you, were you asking if we are prioritizing salaries over health and safety?
Based on your observation, do you think, or do you have this assessment that HR professionals across various working environments are not necessarily taking at heart the health and safety of their workers, rather prioritizing just salaries?
Oh, okay. So I would have loved to have had a certain research information to tell you this is a yes or a no. But then from what I've observed, it's a yes and a no, okay? We do have a fraternity of HR professionals, which I belong to, that do not only prioritize salaries in the sense that when we are speaking at the management meetings, you hear us giving certain justifications as to the reasons why we need to go beyond salaries, because we tell CEOs and other top executives that human resources management has actually evolved, excuse me, beyond just a paycheck. And that is because of the theory of motivation that says that money is not the highest motivational factor. Obviously, employees are tuned towards an employer who shows that they care. And research has it that any employee that is appreciated will do much more than the salary you are giving him or her. So I would say that it's a yes for the evolving HRs that exist. But yes, we do. I would not say that we still do not have HRs who are still yet to evolve, who are yet to leave, the olden days practice of human resources, who believe in a master-servant relationship, where they think that giving you your salary should be enough and nothing beyond that should be taken into priority. So that is what I want to say about your question right at this moment. Indeed.
Edward, what ways can management and employees dialogue in a bit to promote good safety and health culture at the workplace?
Also, interestingly, it is important to note that management obviously designed the policies for employees to follow. So in that designing of policies, they should have an open door policy where there will be regular engagement. We have something we call toolbox talks. Toolbox talks normally before any task starts in a typical health and safety setting. We talk about the risks that are prevalent within the job to be done and how we're going to mitigate those risks. Leadership can be part of this to ensure that conversation involves them. But what then happens is, if you find the chief executive officer of, say, let's say you find president in a safety briefing, clearly he will give his comment. And with that, the employees at the time would know that president is also committed to the cause. Then that will change. Also, there has to be resource allocation. Management can dialogue more by showing the way, not just talking and leaving it there. Okay. We provide the resources for things to be done. When that is done, then it will be supported. Training as well is important. Leadership must allocate resources for training of staff. That is all part of the dialoguing. And then when issues happen, accidents, when they happen, leadership must be part of the investigation to show the way. When that happens, then employees will begin to feel that they are leadership is empathizing with them, right, and it will help change the narrative. Finally, it's also important that when accidents are investigated, leadership ensure recommendations are implemented. That way, employees will be sure that when it happens, leadership will show their face and they will be there committed with them throughout the process to drive the change that we need. So that is how dialoguing could happen.
Edward, Deborah, thank you for joining us. Let's end with Emmeline Date. At this point, based on your observations, especially as an HR expert, you cite the fact that there is little to no research when it comes to the health and safety of workers at the workplace. Is there the need for some legislation at this point, briefly?
I am very happy to actually answer this question because yesterday I was speaking to a client of mine who is an employee assistance program service provider. After a summit we had, the EAP summit, we did have a conversation as to how the labor law can embrace or include, the directives for employers to move beyond safety, which is physical safety, to emotional well-being. And I'm happy to announce that the meeting has actually started to upgrade the labor law to include the mental health safety of employees. So yes, things are being done. From the legal perspective, we're thankful for that. And we are also thankful to mental health experts who are also raising the awareness for HR professionals to be champions of going beyond physical safety to emotional well-being safety in the organization. And this is actually a good cause for us, knowing full well how the COVID-19 pandemic has made it and emphasize that the emotions of its staff is very important for ensuring high productivity and high performance of any organization that wants to sustain and grow.
Indeed, we cannot sacrifice mental health for anything else. Emmeline Date, grateful that I could join us. She's a human resource expert. Also grateful to Edward Deborah, a health and safety expert who joined us all the way from Aberdeen, Scotland.